Star and Stripe shows off the true might of America, Shigaraki gets a hand on Star, and the fight between America and All for One could finally be over. Let's talk about all of this and more as we dive right into the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. So My Hero Academia Chapter 332 is finally out, and with it not only do we get to witness the epic continuation of the dramatic bout between Shiggy Boy and America Girl, but this fantastical fight just might have reached its thrilling conclusion. Let's just say what happens next could change the fate of the entire world. But before I begin talking about this chapter, I'm first going to go into a quick summary of what happened last time. And as usual, don't forget to Detroit smash that like button and slide into that subscribe button's DMs to hit that notification bell. In the last chapter, we saw Mr. L'Oreal, because you're worth it, explode into a ball of electricity, knocking back America's resident buff girl. I mean, seriously, Star is jacked, and I'm all here for it, and then launch himself atop a fighter jet where he spent 3 whole pages trying to figure out how in the hell Femme All Might's quirk works. Seeing how her first assassination attempt on Mr. Face Cream failed, Star decided it was time to America the fuck out of this place and call in the big guns. So she called an air support from Commander Akbar, "It's a trap!" and went plus ultra and used her quirk to create a super-sized, solid, atmospheric version of herself to beat the ever-loving god out of Shigaraki. First, she punched him into the next entry with a move called Fist Bump to the Earth, sending Shigaraki rocketing backward. Then, just like how Moses parted the sea, she parted the sky, clapping her hands and Shigaraki's ass cheeks, and finally, by having the fighter pilots fire all of their lasers at her, she used her quirk to combine all of said lasers into one giant laser beam sword, which she wielded with her atmospheric form like the badass she is, and plunged it directly into Shigaraki, calling out United Hypermax Output Laser Keranos. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Star and Stripe has been dishing out a 5-course meal can of whoop ass on the All for One wannabe. With Tomura pinned down, Mr. Star Wars reference Commander Akbar finally responds to Star's request by stating, "This is the absolute dumbest idea you have ever thought of and goes against nearly all of the regulations. You son of a bitch, I'm in." And he informs Star that Japan has been warned and the state-of-the-art hypersonic intercontinental cruise missiles Tiamat are on their way. And this is where chapter 332 picks up. This chapter opens up with a flashback of Star in what appears to be an army training camp. The other cadets in the camp are laughing at Star for not being able to increase her physical capacity, which Star herself reveals in the narration to be one of the limits of New Order, her quirk. Star initially becomes frustrated by this lack of power, as she mentions how a lot of people she comes across associate this lack of strength with the fact that she is a woman. However, she does let out a smile as she notes that although her fellow cadets are laughing at her weakness, none of them have ever associated it with her being a woman, and just put it down to her quirk. As the other cadets continue laughing, they jest at Star, stating that she is just too hard on herself, constantly comparing herself to All Might. So they let her know that if she ever finds herself in trouble or in a situation where she is too weak, they will always be there to support her and help out in any way they can. Following this, the story cuts back to the present, where we see the Tiamat missiles are closing in on Star's location. With these missiles mere moments away from impact, one of Star's pilots asks if she will even be able to touch them, to which Star confirms that she definitely can. However, to do so, she will have to give up on the lasers rule, which is currently the only thing keeping Shigaraki pinned down. So, Star asks the pilots to hold Shigaraki back while she is switching her rules. As this is going on, the story briefly cuts over to Shigaraki himself, who notes how he knows that the laser he is currently being pinned down by is not Star's ultimate attack, as there would be no reason for her to keep using it even after realizing that Shigaraki can resist it and continue to regenerate. With this understanding, Shigaraki realizes that something else must be on the way, and in this moment, he decides that he's going to take a big gamble. After this, the story then cuts right back on over to Star, who on the count of 3 begins her next attack. First, she deactivates her laser rule, and then, using her atmosphere form, she puts out her hand and grabs all of the incoming missiles. And as she does this, she uses her quirk to create a new rule saying the Tiamat missiles will rotate. While Star is in the middle of doing this, we see Shigaraki, who is no longer being pinned down, jump out of the sea towards the sky. But before he can get too far, all of the pilots in their jets start shooting at him simultaneously. With Shigaraki temporarily stunned, Star, with the Tiamat missiles now in hand, rotates them towards and directly into the spot where Shigaraki is, creating an essentially nuclear bomb level explosion. That's right, Shigaraki just got nuked. The name of this super move is also revealed to be state-of-the-art hypersonic intercontinental cruise punch, which is a lot of words just to say nuclear smash. With this huge explosion, all of the fighter jets and Star herself get thrown backward, and Shigaraki seemingly gets fully disintegrated by the monstrous blast. With the villain defeated and a brand new crater in the Earth, the heroes have seemingly won the day. Unfortunately, however, this sense of victory is swiftly taken away, as we see Shigaraki, or what remains of him at least, I mean just look at him, come rocketing out of a hole in the ocean floor. Shigaraki explains that after noticing that a stronger blow was incoming, and after deducing that New Order's limit was 2 rules, he opened a hole in the ocean floor with his decay quirk as soon as the lasers dissipated, and hidden there the entire time. As it turns out, what the pilots thought was Shigaraki coming flying out of the water was actually just his Nomu that he used as bait and as a meat shield. Seeing Shigaraki make a mad dash towards Star, the pilots mobilize to try and protect her, but the Nomu, who somehow survived the Tiamat's explosion, explodes himself in the middle of the jets, causing them to break their formation. With the pilots all unsynchronized, Shigaraki then starts to jump between the jets, getting closer and closer to Star and eventually landing on the pilot leader's ship. The pilot leader, aware that Shigi has boarded his aircraft, exclaims that in his current state, Shigaraki wouldn't be able to handle another powerful attack. So he offers himself as a sacrifice and asks Star to crush them both with her atmosphere copy to guarantee the heroes' victory. However, just as it seems the heroes have gained their victory once again, Star hesitates, noting that her and the pilot leader have been friends since their army training days. And unfortunately for Star, this mere second of hesitation would cost her greatly. As with this, chapter 332 comes to an end, as we see Shigaraki take advantage of Star's hesitation, instantly leaping towards her and placing his hand directly onto her face. Overall, this was an interesting chapter. Seeing Shigaraki get absolutely brutalized but remain as vigilant and threatening as ever is a great way of showing off just how truly terrifying he has become, and also how much of a powerhouse Star really is. I mean, I know her quirk isn't able to make herself super strong due to its limitations, but come on, a giant atmospheric monstrosity that can hold huge laser swords and throw literal nukes around is pretty fucking powerful. That's like calling someone weak just because they can't weightlift with the pros, but they are a super talented fighter that can rip you apart in the ring and shoot you whenever they feel like. To be honest, she is making everyone else look weak. Shigaraki finally getting his hand on Star will be an interesting turn of events, and whatever happens next will certainly have a huge effect on the My Hero world as we know it. Will Shigaraki acquire her god tier quirk, or will Star make a sacrifice like no other? Who knows? But let me know what you think of this chapter. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and comment what you think is going to happen next. For more My Hero content, subscribe to the Lunchtime crew. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Plus Ultra.